Trust your training.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Trust Your Training podcast. I'm your host, Andre Bennett. I'm also the founder and CEO of Big Guard Training. And today we have a very special episode. We're going to be talking about some preseason do's and don'ts, some advice for the freshmen, and what you can expect leading up to this basketball season. So a brief overview of things I'm going to be talking about during this episode, things you can do early on to get ahead, how to present yourself in front of your teammates, coaches, and the rest of the students on campus, how you can approach or how you should approach the preseason, how to stay afloat during the season. And I want to preface all of my comments by saying I may not be an All-American, I may not be an NBA prospect, but one thing I do have at the college level is experience, right? And experience can't be learned, can't be taught. It's only, given through experience. So let's get right into it. So number one, you want to establish a great relationship with your teammates. You want to try to make new friends. College is only 4 years, so things can happen later down the line that may benefit you. You go to your teammate's wedding one day. He might be your best man. He might be the godfather of your child. You might get into business together one day. So you just never know. College is only 4 years. Friendship lasts forever. So, establish great relationship with your teammates. Now, when it is time to speak and engage with your teammates, be confident in yourself, but don't let the world know what you're thinking. Okay, you want to be very selective in what you say because you never know what can come back to hurt you. Like I said, being, cocky, being arrogant, being this and that, it may ruffle some feathers, create disdain or, make a poor first impression. And that's what we don't want. Don't talk about your basketball abilities unless you're asked, right? And even then, be modest and as humble as possible. This is very important. Nobody wants, somebody that's always talking about themselves or, whose head is too big. We don't want to be around that. That makes, people uncomfortable. It makes people think that you think they're better than them, which is not the case. We don't want that at all. Now, this is going to be the most important bullet point on the teammate, aspect of this podcast. If a teammate upsets you, please listen to this, guys. If a teammate upsets you, do not talk about them behind their back to someone else. You never know who's listening. You never know who's going to report back what you say to somebody else, and then there's going to be friction in the locker room, which we don't want at all. Personally, I'm a Christian athlete, so I'm going to quote Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 20. It says, "Do not curse the king, even in your thought. Do not curse the rich, even in your bedroom. For a bird of the air may carry your voice, and a bird in flight may tell the matter." So really think about that. You never know who's listening. You never know who is going to report back what you say to somebody else. So don't even say anything bad about anybody, out loud or in your thoughts at all, because your thoughts become your words. Your words become your actions, so on and so forth. And that's what we don't want. Okay, so now that's the teammate aspect of everything. Now we're going to talk about what you can do on Now we're going to talk about what you can do in an individual level, to help get yourself ahead. Pace yourself, right? Do not get burned out, right? It's a long preseason. There's a lot of work to be done. Right now it's August. The season starts, I think first practice is October 15th. So there's plenty of time to get ready. So do not get burned out. Pace yourself. That doesn't mean don't get your daily work in now. You still get your daily work in, but pace yourself, right? You don't want to peak too early, right? You don't want to have no gas in the tank when it's actually time to get into the thick of things in October, November, things like that. You want to have some more energy left. So you don't want to peak in August. You don't want to peak in September. You want to peak when it's time to peak, okay? You want to be building up, so right when it's time to peak, boom, you're here. We're good to go. Don't wait until the last minute to get in shape, all right? This is obvious. I hope you guys are putting forth your due diligence in the summer, getting stronger, getting in better shape, working on your game. But you can't wait till the last minute. You can't, because there's going to be people on your team who weren't waiting on the last minute, and they're going to take your spot. That simple. I might have dropped this episode a little late, but you should be arriving in terrific shape. Don't use the team workouts to get you in shape. It's not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough. That simple, especially if you have goals. Now, this is a basketball episode, but this is in life, in all facets of life. The way you reach your goals is to do stuff other people aren't doing or aren't willing to do, right? So if you're just doing the team workouts with the whole team there, the whole team's doing that. So what are you doing outside of that that's going to, elevate your game, elevate your performance to get you to the next level? You have to do stuff outside of that. You have to do extra stuff. That's how you reach your goals. And like I said, this is just in all facets of life. That's the one thing about the Trust Your Training podcast. All these lessons are applicable to all facets of life. So like I said, it's hard to reach your goals when you're only doing the team workouts. You never know who's working outside of that, so you want to be prepared. Now, how you move off the court during the preseason, during the season at all. You're a basketball player, okay? You're a college basketball player. You represent yourself, you represent the school, and most importantly, you represent your family, right? So you never know who's watching. Move wisely, always be on your P's and Q's. I wouldn't say, keep your guard up, but yeah, keep your guard up. You're a target. You're a basketball player. You have something to lose. A lot of these people running around campus, they have nothing to lose. They can do whatever they want, but you can't move like that, okay? You got to move smartly. You got to move wisely. You don't know who's watching. You don't know who's listening. You don't know who wants your spot that's going to, wait for your downfall and then pounce on that. You don't know. So always be prepared. Always, be cognizant of what you're doing. And, yeah, that's simple. Now we're going to move on to how you can get onto the court. Number one, play defense. Let that sit for a little while. Play defense. You're not going to play if you don't play defense. I don't care if you average 1,000,000 points a game. If you're giving up 1,000,005, you're not going to play. Somebody who's you give up 900,000 is going to play over you instead. This is obviously an exaggeration, but you know what I mean though. If you don't play defense, you're not going to play. Number two, get rid of that 20 points per game mentality. Right? Get rid of it. Get rid of it. You can score 20 points a game, but get rid of that 20 points a game mentality. You got to do the little things that's going to help you get on the court. You got to be more than a scorer. You got to be a rebounder. You got to be a defender. You got to be a passer. You got to be talkative. You got to be a leader. You got to do all these things, right? There's more than basketball than just scoring. Scoring is obviously the most, sexy part of the game, but at the same time, you got to do the small stuff that's going to get you, to where you want to be at. Number three, same as number one, play defense. I wanted to reiterate that. That's the most important aspect of getting on the court. If you don't play defense, you're not going to play. I don't care if you score 0 points a game. If you can hold your man to 0 points a game, your coach is going to trust you. That's the most important thing, having the coach's trust. So you earn that by playing defense. Number four, do the little things. Dive on the floor for loose balls. Talk on defense. Box your man out. Just small stuff like that nobody sees. Boxing out, like I said, talking. What else? We got little things. Picking up full court. Changing the tempo of the game. Running the fast break. Throwing out an outlet pass early. Small stuff like that is going to, the coach is going to notice that. It may not show up in the box score. The casuals and the fans may not notice what you're doing, but the coaches know, and that's how you build that's how you build trust from your coach. So just be cognizant of that. Always work hard on the little things, and you'll be good to go. Number five is very important as well, and it's simple. Make your open shots. Let that sit for a little while too. Make your open shots. There's a swing. The defense rotates 2-3 times, and now you're wide open for a shot. Got to make that shot. Okay, we ran the offense to perfection. We made the defense move. Now we got to make our shots. So we got to make our open shots. Put up your shots in the preseason. Grab a teammate, go to the gym, put up your shots, get those reps in, build your confidence. So when the game time rolls around, you'll be good to go. Because shooting is all confidence and repetition. So you got to be able to make those open shots if you want to play. If you those open shots, it's not looking good. All right, number 6, I think we're on. Utilize your rest days. This is going to be the most overlooked bullet point on this list, but it's the most important. One of the most important, I should say. Utilize your rest days, right? It's a long season. Practice every day, sometimes 6-7 days in a row. We got a game, we got to travel. When you get that off day, man, you got to use that off day. You have to use that off day. You got to stretch, go to the trainer, get in some ice. Just recover your body. Let your body just sit there and recover, man, from a long week, from a long month. You just got to let your body recover. You might get 1 rest day a week or 2 every 3 weeks. You never know. So when they come around, man, every so often, you have to use those rest days, right? Let your body recover. Like I said, get in the ice, get in the game ready, get in the Normatec, whatever your school has, utilize that, man. Stretch. Number 8, not sure. In-season training. In-season training, you have to keep your game sharp. I'm going to give you an example. Let's say in the summertime, you shoot 200, 250 shots a day, right? You're putting up your shots feeling good. You get to the season, you go to practice, you're not getting those same reps in, man. You're not getting those same 200, 250 shots. So guess what happens? Your percentages decrease. You start missing more shots. So you have to be disciplined. You have to work inside during the season. Say after practice, shoot 30, 50 free throws. Just do little things like that to keep your game sharp, because you're not in that same routine you were in the summertime when your game was up here. So you have to stay in that same routine. Establish a routine, man. Get into, a habit of doing things. Okay, today I'm going to wake up and go lift my weights. Then I'm going to go eat. Then I'm going to take a nap. Then I'm going to go shoot. Then we got practice, right? So establish a routine. Just be ready. Always train during the season. Number 7, number 8, don't know which one. Play the game, right? And I'm not talking about the basketball game you guys maybe think I'm talking about. Play the game, right? So if you and your coach don't see eye to eye, play the game, right? If you headbutt with your coach and you battle with your coach, you're not going to win that battle. I'm sorry. You have zero power in the situation. You have no power. The coach has all the power. So if you doing this and that, thinking you're going to get ahead, you're like, oh yeah, I got the coach now. No, no. He has all the power or she has all the power. He's going to put you on the bench. He's going to put you on the bench. You're going to sit there and you're going to rock. Okay, so play the game. Respond the right way. Show up early. Do the small things. Yes, coach, no coach. Come first in the sprint. Just play the game. What can I do to get better? Let's watch some film. Let's sit down and have a conversation. Play the game. Okay, so you got to play the game. You got to have constant communication. You have to be respectful. Because like I said, if you come in there with an attitude, you're not going to win that battle, man. You're not. He has all the power. She has all the power. Understand that and move wisely, knowing that. Moving on to the next bullet point, those first 2 weeks of practice. Those first 2 weeks of practice, in my humble opinion, are the most important, from an individual aspect, are the most important weeks of the season because that's when the rotations are made. Okay? If you're killing in those first 2-3 weeks, you're probably going to be in the rotation, okay, early on. It's your spot to lose now. Instead of, you're playing bad those first 2 weeks, somebody has a spot. Now you're waiting on somebody to get hurt, somebody to get ineligible, something bad to happen to somebody in order for you to get an opportunity. That's not what we want. We want to come out at the gates firing. This is my spot. I'm going to take that spot. And that's the type of mentality you need to have. Those first 2 weeks are the most important weeks of the basketball season, in my opinion. And then moving on to the last bullet point on, how you can get on the court, your diet. Right, it's a long season. Your body needs to be able to perform, for a long period of time. What's that? What's season? 4 or 5 months. So you had to, your body needs to be in shape. Your body needs to have the energy to be able to perform. So eating the right foods, not eating junk food every night. At the same time, we're college students. Some of us high school students. So we have a little more leeway with our bodies. But at the same time, you got to get those proteins and those vegetables, those fruits. Drinking water, staying away from the sugar. Things like that makes the biggest difference. You're going to feel better on the court. You're going to have more energy. You're going to run faster, jump higher. You're going to make more shots. You're going to be slimmer. You're going to be more strong. Everything plays a factor. So you need to take care of your diet. Now we're going to move on to the last bullet point. School. School is very important, okay? You can't have one without the other. You can't have basketball with no school. You can't have school with no basketball, okay? So it all goes hand in hand. Got to take care of one thing and have the other thing. Have that 4-year versus 40-year mentality, right? So college is a 4-year. You've been in college for 4 years, but it's a 40-year decision, right? So what you do in those 4 years will affect the next 40 years of your life. Think about that. Think about that. What you do in these 4 years of college will affect the next 40 years of your life, right? So if you're jacking off in the classroom, messing around, not doing what you're supposed to be doing, messing around, things like that, you're not going to get ahead, okay? Think big picture. Always think big picture. How will this decision affect the next 40 years of my life? How will me not turning in this homework assignment affect the next 40 years of my life? How will me failing this exam, not preparing for this exam, affect the next 40 years of my life? It will. Trust me. Because if you work hard in the classroom, you're going to have a good GPA. And when you have a good GPA, internships start coming at you. College or career opportunities start coming at you. Everything starts coming at you. So you want to be ready for this. You want to, have something to give to them, because if you have nothing to prove for yourself, if you have bad grades, why would they want you? They're not going to take you. That job you want, they're not going to take you. They're going to take somebody from Indiana with a 3.5 GPA, with great grades, who's involved, who also plays basketball, who also plays football. They're going to take them instead of you. What makes you so special? Okay, so always take into consideration your grades, man. Always focus on your grades. That's the number one thing. With that being said, I'm going to wrap up this podcast. I really hope you guys take what I said into consideration because, like I said, I have 4 years. This will be my 4th year in college. I have experience, man. I've been around the block a couple times, man. I think I know what I'm talking about. So, really listen to what I'm saying. Apply some things, if not everything, into your daily routine, into your life. And Yeah, just and have a great season too. You want to be prepared for everything. You don't want to go into the season unprepared. You don't want to go into a math test unprepared. You ever been? I'll tell you a quick story. So there's one time I was in seventh grade. I'm about to take a math test. I did not study at all. Didn't study at all. I walk into the test. I'm at the paper. I'm like, what the heck is this? What is this? What am I looking at? What is y equals mx plus b? I don't know this. I wasn't prepared, right? And the next year, I remember I studied for a test and I was really prepared and I actually got excited because I was so prepared. I'm like, yeah, come on, come at me. I'm ready. I'm prepared. Same thing with basketball, guys. Same thing with basketball. If you're prepared, you're going to be much more confident. The game's going to be much more fun. Rather, if you're unprepared, you're going to be more nervous. You're going to be timid. You're going to be scared to make mistakes because you don't have confidence in your game. You weren't prepared. So it's that simple. So I'm going to leave you guys with that. I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. If you guys know somebody who needs some advice like this, share the video with them. This is a great podcast, for you to learn how to, get to the next level and how to move at the next level. It's a great, great way. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next time. And always, 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 I see the shirt. Always trust your training.